Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy thrilling Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. Well, I don't think many of us are going out anymore to the bars, unfortunately, to the restaurants, but for one reason or another. I kind of wanted to talk today about some things that I hope are happening. There's a lot of things that we hear are happening. There's a lot of things that I hope are happening, that the things that I hear are happening are actually true. So, leading off that, I did see that we have several members of the state, Democrats included, that are investigating Cuomo on the slaughter and murder of our elderly in these elderly care facilities. That was posted by a member of, I think, I have his name, but I forgot it. But he is definitely a part of the New York State Assembly or Senate. And I do know that I've heard mutterings of them doing that, that they were going after him. This is in spite of the award that he gave himself and all the accolades and praise that the media are giving him. So, I guess some people see it a little bit differently than him doing such an amazing job at this point. So I'm really, really hopeful that's going to happen. If you guys hear anything about that, please share it on my page. Any more details, I did post that one link today regarding that. Let's support these politicians that are doing that. That's one big thing that I'm hoping that happens. Another thing is that we hear Paul Cambria, that Jim Ostrowski, they have their own individual lawsuits against Cuomo and executive power. I know that I believe those are true. I did go down and I did listen to Jim talk about what it was that they were doing, his office was doing. I haven't heard what Paul Cambria is doing specifically. And hopefully that is going to eliminate every single order that Cuomo has passed in these past 6 months. And that would definitely open things up for our business owners to hopefully recover some of their losses and their money that they haven't had. That's something else I'm hopeful for. I've also heard that individual businesses are suing the state and Cuomo, whatever means they have available, whatever vehicles and mechanisms they have available to them, that they're doing that. So what I'm doing today is I'm trying to give everybody that encouragement so that you can take a look at some of these things and see if they're actually happening. Post these things, share these things on our pages. Let's track them. Let's follow them. Pedophilia and sex crimes and sex trafficking. Everybody knows how passionate I've been about that for a long, long, long time. And I really didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. I know that there were some organizations nationally and locally that were available to try to help these people. I do know that I met the two individuals who were charged with handling. The one is an Erie County Sheriff. The other one is she's in law enforcement. I don't know exactly in what capacity. I won't give her name, her first name. I used to give it, but now with all the doxing and everything happening, I don't want anybody to be able to chase this back to her. But both of these individuals were at my house, not because I'm sex trafficking, but they were both at my house talking to me extensively about everything that was going on. And they have two people in their unit. This was about a year ago. Two people in their unit, them, that are tasked with handling all of the labor trafficking, sex trafficking that's happening from here, Buffalo, all the way down to Pennsylvania, all the way out to Syracuse. It's a big ass area for two people to be in charge of all the sex trafficking. They hoped that they could get 6 full-timers come on, 1 ADA, and 1 full-time analyst that they could have. That would be a part of their group that could do all the investigations because they couldn't do anything. Their investigations take about a year. They're very delicate cases, and these attorneys, this web, this network, this cabal of attorneys that they have protecting these scumbags that are doing this stuff. Now, specifically, they were investigating a case out in Hamburg where there were 55 locations that one individual that resides here in Cheektowaga was using for elderly men or older men to traffic young boys and young girls. That's happening right in this neighborhood. You know, these individuals were here at my house talking to me about this. And they wanted this extra staffing, but they couldn't get it. And they take about a year to do each investigation for 2 people. Can you imagine these people having to do their investigation for a year, get all the information that they could gather and compile, and then it just be thrown away because of a detail or a technicality that an attorney ends up finding? The sex trafficking here in this area is so pervasive. There's nothing they can do. I talked to the woman who handles domestic violence. She's in the sheriff or the Buffalo detective's office that handle 8 people that handle all of domestic violence in all of Buffalo. They have 8 people that do that. So if you can imagine, there's not much possibility or opportunity for these people to really make a dent in what's happening. So what they see now that's going on with the pedophilia and the sex trafficking and the exposure of it is huge. And they're so encouraged by what's happening. Their response to me, when I asked them what could be done to curtail this most effectively, and they said, make it a felony. Class A felony for any human trafficking, labor trafficking, sex trafficking, anything. Extremely simple. They said you do that, probably going to put about 90% of this sex trafficking to bed. They said right now it's a misdemeanor. They're like, we could go through all of the work that we have to do and it's a misdemeanor. And I asked them, I said, why do you think it's a misdemeanor? They wouldn't give me the response. The one wouldn't give me a response, the other did. And they said, because it extends into every corner of our government. Our attorneys, our judges, our politicians, our government agencies, not all the people in all of those agencies, but people in those agencies that are tasked with handling things like this, they are involved in this. So the simple thing of even making, the common sense thing of making any trafficking here in New York State a felony, Class A felony, punishable by a minimum sentence of whatever it is, that seems like a common no-brainer thing, they can't even get that passed. So pedophilia and sex trafficking right now, what I hear, a lot of different individuals that are working in that area trying to expose it, are that everything is being uncovered and revealed with Ghislaine Maxwell. That where they buried, remember when they buried the information, that judge said that they were all sealed, all those documents were sealed, and now they unsealed them, which is incredible. They said that it was hundreds of documents that are now available. That's encouraging. You know, you're seeing the elite, the Hollywood elite, scamper and scurry and run. That's huge. When you listen, like I did, to the videos of the people who were trafficked, it's so easy. Mothers and daughters, what happened was they were preyed upon by this fantasy that Hollywood was going to provide a life for them. Then they were targeted by recruitment agencies or modeling agencies. And then once they got into those agencies, they were caught. You listen to the women's stories about how they were held in homes for months, threatened that their family would be killed, threatened that they would be killed, that if they said anything to anybody, a lot of times these women don't even have to be kept or held hostage in these homes, because they are the psychological war that goes on with them. They tell them, if you do this, this is going to happen. So imagine you're a single woman, or you're a single mother, has your child there, and you're being told that you will be killed. You can listen to the stories, guys. They were on YouTube. I'm not sure how much of that is there now because all the social media that are complicit with this, absolutely complicit with this, and are working to hide and have worked to hide and bury this information for a very, very long time, have silenced these women. They silenced them. And these women had their stories, and the hashtag Me Too movement, bullshit. All of it. Like I was watching, with Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman was on with Barbara Walters, and Barbara Walters was shaming him. This was a few years ago. Remember when he was trying to expose it with him and Corey Haim? They all have. Justin Bieber has come out and said it. I mean, you have dozens and dozens of people from Hollywood that have said this is happening. This is 1,000% happening. Then you have the establishment, Matt Lauer, before he got hung up with his own stuff, he was telling Corey Feldman, you're lying. These people have been trying to bury this forever. Remember when our friends, my friends on my page were, you're a conspiracy theorist, Pizzagate, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Somebody made it up. No, somebody figured out a way to dispel and dismiss that so they could buy another how many years? How many years ago was that? They bought themselves all that time. So Hollywood elite is being tore apart right now. They're tearing one another apart. The people that in Hollywood, that are in Hollywood right now, that have hated this and didn't speak up, are now finally having the courage to be able to speak up. Ashton Kutcher was he was fighting this hard. Chester Bennington, he was fighting this hard. And one of my heroes, Chris Cornell, and that Avicii, I think his name is, that Avicii, and I've heard different stories on Avicii, whether he was a pedophile or not, but Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington they were fighting and advocating they were fighting against pedophilia. They were working hard. Ashton Kutcher exposed it. He was out at a congressional hearing talking about it, developing software. He was developing software to try to help women in these other countries that were being trafficked. And they silenced him. They silenced him too. Ashton Kutcher was fighting. Chris Cornell, good morning, Penny. Chris Cornell, and thank you, Dormir, I appreciate that. Chris Cornell was fighting hard. His wife knew all about it. Everybody knew how passionate he was about that. They were trying to bury Hollywood and the record industry because they know, and even, who was it? I can't remember. P. Diddy came out and was saying and exposing it as well. Remember that story? That was all buried. He was saying what they made him do. I mean, so many of these actors have come out and said what they did to them, what they forced them to do. So that's my hope. My hope is that they are truly burying these people. Tom Hanks has said he's moving to Switzerland or whatever it is. Yeah, good luck with that. It's no mistake that he was when Ricky Gervais was talking at the whatever it was, Golden Globes or Oscars, that Tom Hanks's face was right there. So there are other reports that I'm hearing are that and this gets a little bit out there, and I know that, but this is what today's feed is about. I really hope, because we're told that there's this tunnel network across the entire globe, especially in this country, utilizes tunnels that were made hundreds of years ago and military bases that were abandoned. And what they did and what they were doing were using these to bring children in and keep children in, and women. If you look up child harvesting down in Venezuela, I have my friend Lorena, she's from Venezuela, And Pete, she goes, you can't even imagine the child harvesting. What's child harvesting, Pete? Child harvesting is where they've made everybody so poor that they sell their children. They sell their children to foreign agencies, the government, going around in disguise saying that they will help their children. They will provide a better life for their children. That's what child harvesting is. Look it up. It's in Venezuela. Find it right on Wikipedia. This is stuff that's been, this isn't new, guys. I know a lot of people are new to this. This has been happening for decades under our watch. You know, it's no mistake that the kids on the back of the milk cartons, that went away. You know, the missing kids. You know, and you hear very, very lofty numbers of 800,000 kids go missing annually in this country. Yeah, I've seen that number. I don't know how verifiable it is, but even if it's 1,000 kids that go missing in our country, can you imagine 1,000 of our children going missing? How would you feel if it was your child? So these tunnels and this network here that extend throughout the world, it's said that there's a war going on, that these are being destroyed, and there's several individuals on YouTube that are following this. Whether it's legit or not, I don't know. I don't have any confirmation. If it's happening, that's amazing. Look that information up. They're talking about that they have destroyed this tunnel network that was being used to traffic these children, bring them into wherever they needed to, and then hide them. You know, completely below the radar, these old military bases. If that's happening, that's amazing. There's other talk that the gold standard is being revised, the Fed, that Donald Trump has the Fed right now, and that the gold standard is coming back, and that there's a lot of good things that are going to happen with banking right now. And you're welcome, Diane. And good morning, Joe. And there's a lot of things that are happening with that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I don't have the facts. I hear what people are telling me. I hear the research. I hear all of the information that's being shared and communicated to me. That was a huge part of what Trump wanted to accomplish, so that the central banks, the central banking establishment, would no longer have power over the people. You know, there's also talk that IRS is going away, and that there will be now a flat tax system, which was supposed to be in place all along. Corporations were the only people that were supposed to, or the only entities that were supposed to be taxed under the Constitution. That was it. Is this happening? I don't know. I don't know if it's happening or not. Joe's got X22. If you guys can listen to that, they shed a lot of light on it. There's 2 reports a day, like 30 to 45 minutes. I haven't been able to watch it yet. I'm going to. But a lot of this stuff, if it's truthful, guys, it's amazing. If it's happening. When we know sex trafficking and pedophilia is finally being exposed. We know that's happening. We know that AG Barr is lighting these people up, and these socialists, these terrorists, these communists, these Nazis that have been entrenched in our schools as teachers, as administrators in our schools, in our town governments, weaponizing themselves against us, city government, county government, political offices all over the country. We know that they've been exposed. These people have been exposed. Look at Portland. Look at Seattle. Look at Virginia. Look at Austin. You look at all of these towns. What is it? The Michigan, and all of these people who are related and connected to all of these other criminals. You know, whether they be the Clintons, whether they be the Obamas, whether they be the Feinsteins, whether they be the Pelosi's, whoever it is, these people are connected. They got voted in. It's so easy, guys. When you think about this, you know, when people used to tell me, Pete, it's too big. They can't do that. It's not, guys. Take a look around you right now. and see who's willing to run for political office. For our side, there aren't many people, are there? Why? The Republican committee here in this state is a joke. It's an absolute joke. They infiltrated it. That's why they're not putting anybody up. How are you going to be supported on the libertarian line? I'm a libertarian. I would love to see the libertarian line grow and to be legitimate and to get established. But they have their network of people. Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Jen. They have their network of people that they know exactly what to do, when to do it. Their skills have been honed, guys. It's mafia. I've called it a mafia forever. So what they do when you're an elite and you've got all the money and you're in political office already, all you do is go, oh, hey, we want to put this person in over here. Okay, we got this person. And they put them in. They need a little bit of money, a little bit of backing, and you're done. And for them, for us, millions of dollars to run a campaign is absolutely, and we can't do it. We can't do it. Thank you, Diane. Diane's right, guys. Thank you, Rakeem. How's it going, brother? Thank you, Diane, for the Federal Reserve with the Treasury. That is good news. But we can't run a campaign on $1 million. We would love to. Do you know how many people have asked me, Pete, run, please run, please run? Well, there's a bunch of reasons why I probably will run. But it's, $1 million to us, we can't do it. We can't finance that. Carl Palladino couldn't do it. How do we do it? These people that are already in and established, it's so easy. $1 million isn't anything to them, especially for the special interests that are trying to destroy the country from within. So all of those people and their connections are finally being exposed. People are finally starting to connect the dots. They're finally starting to see everything come together. Oh shit. You mean pedophilia is real? You mean sex trafficking is real? You mean that communists and the government are trying to shut us down and they're trying to deprive us of our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness? Oh shit. Yeah. All this, you mean government agencies are weaponized against people every day? You mean the criminal justice system and police? I'm sorry, guys, for those who support police, and I support police. I have family members that are law enforcement. I have friends that are law enforcement. But yes, law enforcement victimizing the people, being used against the people. Now, finally, an awakening is happening. And that's the positive thing, guys. This awakening that's happening that I've been talking about for a long, long, long time. People weren't seeing it. You're a conspiracy theorist. How many of your friends called you a conspiracy theorist? And you get frustrated and you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say. But guess what? Now we found each other. We found each other on my page, our page. We found each other on all of these other pages. We found each other, going out and people not wearing masks. What we can do now, when we see somebody out there without a mask, high five them, say hi, get their name, friend them on Facebook, invite them to a page, go to their pages that they're inviting you to, because there's a really good chance that that's happening. Support everybody on every single one of the pages. I just saw, Time to Impeach New York with, Jill and Stephanie, what they were doing. And they have 3,300 members. And those two started that. And I was honored that they made me an admin. Very busy, but I was honored to do that. I do whatever I can with them, whenever I can. But they're up to 3,300 members, guys. And Frank in the 1791 Society and the work that he's doing. I mean, that guy is amazing, what he's doing. The Tea Party and how hard they've been working. And Nancy Orticelli and her organization, Constitutional Coalition, and how hard they've been working for so long, guys. These people have been working so hard for so long, in the background saying, hey, this is happening, and nobody listening. But here we are. Support these people. Support the groups. make those comments, love those comments, start to friend people. What I wanted to say is, so we got through all of that. But what I wanted to say is what I wanted to do is an extended invitation to everybody. Scott Ball and Jill, she wanted to come out as well. Then a handful of other people wanted to come out to oppose the no dance thing with Erie County and the Erie County Health Commissioner. Come out Saturday, that's 2 days from today, at noon over at Chestnut Ridge Park. It's going to be, as soon as you walk in, or as soon as you drive in, I believe, it's going to be the shelter right to the right. Scott's going to have it secured. He's going to have music, bring some beers, bring some food, and what we're going to do is we're just going to have fun. And we're going to dance. We're going to take some live videos of it, all right? And it's this Saturday at noon. I'm going to probably be there for maybe an hour or two, and that's going to be about it, and then I got to go. But this Saturday at noon, Chestnut Ridge Park, we're going to do that. And these are the kinds of things that we can be doing. Constitutional Coalition doing their parties. Tea Party just had an event the other day on the 28th. I wasn't able to go to that. The protest, I don't know the woman that did the protest. I'm still trying to figure that out. If anybody knows who was leading that protest, would love to have her join, because if she has that kind of spirit and energy to be able to make something like that happen, we need somebody like that with us. Yeah. So that's going to be Saturday. Protest is Monday in Albany. And Gina Kay, Taylor, and I are driving down on Saturday. We're carpooling. If anybody else wants to go down, carpool, let me know. I'm trying to get through all my messages on Messenger. But, if you message me a couple of times, if you're going to come down, we're leaving Sunday afternoon or evening, stay in a hotel. And then Monday morning, we'll be doing the protest. There's speakers that will be there. And then we'll be coming home. So I think, about 4.5, 5 hour drive or whatever it is. So let me know if you guys are interested. A little bit longer than I wanted to go today. I was going to keep it short, but I do appreciate the time, guys. It was great seeing all of you. Always enjoy seeing you. Love you guys. Enjoy your day. Happy Thursday. As always, if I hear anything, if something extreme comes up, I will be back on. If nothing comes up, then I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great day.